Man talk. What's up, guys? Oh, just something that was on my mind. And there's a lot of videos that talk about being a leader and being the man that you're supposed to be. But, when you truly reflect on what we do as men, right? Uh, and the things that we do and the ways that we lead, being a man is such a huge deal in the world and in life, right? uh, just leading in the right ways. It's so important. The way that we lead our kids, the way that we lead our relationships. How are you showing up? Are you showing up in all the right ways? Are you pouring into it the way that you should be? Are you stepping up to the plate the way that you should be? Because for many years I didn't, and I'm seeing the consequences of that right now. So you might think it's all fine and dandy one day, you know what I'm saying? And you're just getting by, you're doing the minimum. Us men, a lot of times we do the minimum, I was that guy where I thought working was just enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I just provide already, right? I go to work all day long. I take care of everybody. That should be enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired when I get home and feel like I've done so much already, right? That's just the beginning of it, right? That's just literally the bare minimum beginning of it, of what it takes to lead, right? Do you come home? Do you do homework with your kids? Are you, reading with them? Are you encouraging them and their futures, right? Are you sowing good seeds with them? Are you helping to plan their future? Are you helping your spouse around the house? Are you pouring into her? Are you really taking the lead and guiding your family into the very best that they can have, which ultimately is centered on Christ? If you have your sight set on him and he's in your heart, then you probably are doing those things, and that makes a big difference, right? Because nothing shows us how to lead better than the Bible, better than God, But like I said, I have been that man who wasn't leading in all the best ways. You know what I mean? What does being a dad mean to y'all? You know what I'm saying? Is it job? I'm just a provider. I'm just a guy who goes outside and fixes the cars and all of that, right? Or are we truly being a good father to our kids? Are we training them up? Are we teaching them the right things? Are we being slow with them, right? When we go outside and we doing work and stuff, are we allowing them to come in and be patient with them and show them things and give them knowledge to learn from our lives and mistakes or whatever it is? Are we teaching them in the right ways? My son, he's grown now. He's 21 in the Marines, and I can't get those years back. I didn't always do it the right way. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't, and he turned out okay. But I know I could have done better. I know I could have been a better leader to him. I could have been more slower to him. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in a household where I was, my parents was the loud parents, right? Everything they told you to do, they told you with an attitude, right? Loud and scary to make you do what they wanted you to do, and I kind of passed the same thing on to my kids a little bit, especially my son, because he was the first one, but yeah, looking back on it now, it's like, yeah, should have been more slow, should have been more compassionate, should have been more fatherly to try to teach him the things, right? To give him wisdom and stuff like that, Should have been reading more books and doing more stuff to learn myself, right? We got to know if we don't know stuff, we can't teach our kids anything. If you don't know about the Lord, you can't teach your kids about the Lord. You can't teach your kids how to be a great leader if all we doing is winging it, right? And a lot of us didn't know that from our parents, right? Because they was just winging it too, relationships, are you leading in your relationship the right way? You know what I mean? And what does that look like? Does it look like you're doing the bare minimum? Because I can tell you the bare minimum, it's not going to last a long time. It's really not. It's not. One day, one day your partner's going to see that it's the minimum, and they're going to get tired of that. So working and coming home and having an attitude like, oh, I worked all day, you know what I'm saying? I come home and you're nagging me, and I feel like everything is a criticism, and all of these things, right? But they're not. They're not. You owe your partner that, to be open to them, right? As a good leader, you owe it to your family to be open and stuff when you get home. We can't just go to work and think, oh, all the stresses that I dealt with and all the stuff that I went through today, it's time to go home and relax. No, that's when it's time to go home and put the real work in, right? That was the minimum that you did that day when you went to work. That's what I'm learning. You come home, right? You sow good seeds. You got homework with your kids. You got spending time with your kids, helping them with their futures, helping them to grow, helping them, motivating them to read, and you finding time to help your wife out, or your partner out at home, right? Is there dishes? Is there supper? She's probably tired too. She's probably got a lot of things on her mind too, and it takes a lot of effort on both people's part, but being the leader, yes, it takes a lot of effort on our part to do the most, right? Because God made us the stronger ones, that we can do that, He made us the leaders, and most of the time we're not stepping up to the plate and doing the things that we know we should be, you know what I'm saying? So when you find yourself getting lazy and you find yourself getting complacent, and just remember that God made us the leaders, and that we can do more than we do, and we're called to do more than we can do. We want nothing more. I want nothing more for my family than to see them be the best that they can be, right? I want my kids to be smart. I want them to learn. I want them to grow. I want them to be wise. I want them to make good choices, right? I want my wife to have a good relationship. I want her to have a good husband who makes her feel safe and makes her feel like she's protected and makes her feel like she's being led in all of the right ways that a leader should be leading, right? Because in the household, it's the leader's like the king and she's the queen, right? What kind of kingdom are you running? You know what I'm saying? If your wife doesn't feel safe, what kind of kingdom are you running if the people underneath you ain't learning anything? So yeah, you're like the ruler of your house. God's the ruler of your house, but you know what I'm saying? You're like the ruler of your house. So how are you ruling it? How are things going? Are we just coming home, we're working, we're playing video games all day, and we're just still being like we was when we was 12 years old? But we make money. Making money does not make you a man. That does not make you a man. I can tell you, I've worked for money my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I've worked myself up into a job, right? Higher and higher, and the higher I go, the more money I make, and the more money I make, the more money I need. Is that ever enough? Making money is not enough. That doesn't make you a man, right? Women can go and make money too. Kids make money these days. There's so many ways to make money. So just being a provider alone, that's not enough. That's not what a leader is, It's not, because the minute that's the only thing that you got, if that's your only defense or the only quality of a leader, somebody can go get that without you. That's the truth, That lady you with or that partner you with, they can go get money and stuff without you, right? What are you pouring into your life as a leader? How are you showing up? Are you really being obedient? Are you really stepping up to the plate? Are you being the best you? Are you setting time aside, right, to be physically and emotionally healthy, right? Do you have routines, right? Are we letting ourselves go? You know what I'm saying? Are we letting our physical bodies go? Are we letting our minds go? Are we just being distracted while life's just passing us by? Or are we showing up as men? That's the big eye opener. You know what I'm saying? The big eye opener is that you can do more. I know, because I can do more. And that's what I'm seeing. And I see it all over the place, Are you leading with integrity when you go to work and stuff? Are you doing the right things? You know what I'm saying? All of those things matter, right? Having integrity and respect and respecting yourself. You know what I'm saying? If all you're doing is just eating snacks and playing video games and you think you make a little bit of money, so you got some say-so in your household, no, that's not it at all. It honestly ain't, that house is going to fall. It is. It's going to fall. You got to have true substance, you got to lean on Jesus. Ultimately, you know, Jesus is the rock that you build your foundation on, you know, and he's going to show you how to be the best leader that you can be. But my advice to all men is to take a good look in the mirror at yourself and ask yourself, am I stepping up to the plate? Am I letting myself go? Am I being lazy? You know what I'm saying? How is this going to affect things in the long run? Right? You only get one, your kids are only kids one time, you know, and that's not guaranteed to last to the 18. People can pass away and all of that. Like, the time that we have here is precious. What are we doing with it? Are we sowing good seeds? Are we spreading positivity? Are we really involved in the growth, right, of our next generations? Are we involved in the growth of our relationships with our wives? And are we really sowing good seeds and putting forth the effort that's needed, you know? So, and I know a lot of y'all ain't. I wasn't, but I am now, and I'm just sharing that reality with you. You know what I'm saying? That we can do more. We can step up to the plate, bro. You know what I'm saying? We honestly can step up to the plate. And we got to do better as men. You know, men are lacking all across the board. I see it all the time. You know, we have to be better leaders. So y'all do better and believe in him. Love y'all.